Hi and welcome to the full editing breakdown of my latest ski commercial with my friend Andrei. My name is Arthur Weiner. The skier, that's how this video is called. It's here on this channel, it's available, you can watch it. And I don't get much feedback on this channel yet because it's a small one, but I thought it might be interesting for you to take a look at my editing process, how I edit my videos, and specifically the commercial videos. I've already mentioned that most of the story is written in the editing process in this kind of short videos, and I really mean that. The final result really depends on how good you make your edit. You know, the sound design, the speed ramps, the color correction, color grading, all that mixed together well gives this wow effect and overall a good video. Just a quick mention, this will not be a video of me editing in real time, this will be a video of me pointing out some key elements of my edit. By the way, there is the shorter breakdown on the channel, so if you just want to take a brief look on my timeline, that is the way to go. Anyway, let's begin. I was using the Premiere Pro to edit my video, but it really doesn't matter where you edit, I will show you the steps, not the specific functions of the software. The timeline looks complicated, but it's actually very straightforward. The first video track contains all the footage that I've shot without the color grading. By the way, I've used the S-Log free picture profile on my Sony a7S III, and there is a way on how I color grade it, but I will get to this in the end of the video, so stick with me. By the way, let me know in the comments if you want to see a color grading tutorial from me on this channel. I leave this second video track for some minor adjustments, but as you can see there aren't many. The third track goes for the color correction so I can turn it off or on at any time I want, and the fourth goes for the cinematic bars. I have 9 audio tracks, where the bottom one goes for the music track that I've got from the artlist.io. The top 8 tracks go for the sound effects that I've also got from artlist.io. But what each color on the first track means. Before I get to that, let me explain one very important thing. The very first thing I did, I've created 2 sequences, one for the footage and one for the final video. I need the footage sequence just to sort out the footage. I just go through all the shots and I cut away the moments that I'm sure will not appear in the video. And I leave the footage that has a chance to appear in the video. It doesn't mean that I will 100% use it, but I just leave them in the sequence for the future experiments. For example, there is a shot where he walks away and then I wiggle the camera, so I just trim this part. I won't need this for sure. The same thing goes for the bad takes. Once I had done that, I added colors to the groups of shots. Yellow in my case is for the B-roll shots. As you can see when I go through the timeline, there's the boat, the icicles, and so on. Red color or rose is for the main shots, the A-roll basically. This is all the story, his preparation process, the moment when he's going to the hill, standing on top of the hill, and how he is riding down. Now, the magenta is the more specific one. I knew that there will be moments in the video when we show his failure, he's falling down, he's angry, all that stuff, so I painted these shots with the magenta color. Orange goes for the opposite, his success, he's happy, standing on top of the hill like he's a champion, so I wanted to show this contrast, his struggle, that it's not so easy for him, he's dreaming about his success and eventually achieve success. And teal goes for the aerial shots. This moment I sat down and I thought, okay, how do I make a motivational video out of this footage? And I started with the music. I trimmed down the length of the track to about 2 minutes because I felt it's sort of a golden spot, not too long and boring and not too short at the same time. Also, the music accelerates very fast. That's not what I wanted, so I started the video with the ambient sounds, just the sound effects. This is actually the most complicated part in terms of sound design. Let's play it back real quick. Imagine watching the same sequence but just with the music. Sound design makes a huge difference. The base of this sound design is the mountain wind, and as you can see, I've split this sound into several pieces. When I switched to the interior shots, I added the low pass filter on 2990 Hz. Then I switched back to the normal, but at the speed ramp I added 2 keyframes from 23,700 Hz to 300 Hz. That gives this like woo effect, which also serves as a really nice transition from scene to scene. Talking about transitions, this transition was made using just a simple cut, and it's a combination of 4 shots. As you can see, when I go through it frame by frame, there is the first shot, the second shot, the third shot, and the last shot with the speed ramp. The rest of the sounds are the door open and close, the footsteps, the additional elements, and more specific movement sounds. And I rolled into the music right after he had finished his preparation process. After I had assembled this intro part, I started building the story, and here is how I did it. I looked at the music track and started building from there. For example, from here to here is the scene of Andrei going to the hill. And I've used this interval to fill in the shots that are essential for the story. Then the next part is more intense, so I chose it as a failure part, when he is falling down and stuff. The next part is very slow paced, so this is the moment when he's standing on the hill, focused. Then the part when he's riding down, probably the most important, and the last piece is the ending. That's basically how I build the story in this commercial. I select these intervals and I start filling them one by one with the shots I like. Now I can show you all step-by-step process because it will take forever. It's all about trial and error. A lot of experiments goes into this process to achieve the best result possible. Let's talk about the speed ramps, because it's a big deal, right? All speed ramps on my timeline, it's lime of time. All speed ramps on my timeline are hidden behind the green color. So when you see a green color on the first track, just know it's a speed ramp. I've decided to hide them in the nested sequences, so in case I want to add some effects to it, there will be no conflict at all. I've used the speed ramps just for the transition moments or small accents like he's going into a turn or jumping, or just to catch a moment when he's riding. This shot with Andrei passing by is actually 2 times faster than the real life speed. See, I've used 40% speed and then 200% speed. Just a fun fact, Andrei is not that fast in real life, but it looks cool, so who cares. The 2 epic shots when he's going through the trees is so fun to watch in real time because it took like 2 seconds. I have this very long 6-second shot right here. It's probably the longest in the entire edit, but it's pretty complicated. There is a speed ramp, as you can see, it's green colored, and also I added the transform effect to it. I really like this effect because this is one of the ways how you can add motion blur in Premiere Pro. So I increased the shutter angle to 150 and animated the scale and the position, so we kinda zoom in when he jump, then we hold, and we zoom out. Now you can see the difference with and without the motion blur. To add this blurry thing around, I've used the Chromatic Aberration plugin from Red Giant. These are the settings in case you want to copy them to your project. Actually, at this moment I almost lost my drone. It was very cold outside, like 5° Fahrenheit. My iPhone died right at the moment when I was making this shot. Started to panic for a second, but then I realized my remote was okay, so I got it back blindly using the remote controller, but it was intense. I made the color grading using the Lumetri color plugin. At first I added this S-shaped curve because I was shooting in S-Log 3, of course keeping in mind that we need the information in the shadows and the highlights. After that I boosted up the saturation a bit, played around with the color temperature, the highlights, the whites, the blacks, and using the color wheels I added a bit of teal to the shadows. The same process goes for every shot but with its own adjustments. Because the lighting was different, the camera settings, so I had to fix every shot individually. I decided to not go with LUTs, I wanted to have some extra flexibility in this project. By the way, let me know in the comments what is your favorite way of color correcting your image. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, gently, and subscribe for more tutorials like this one, and I will see you in the next video. It works. Okay. All right.